Nicole Newman, and we are presenting How to Work Your Network webinar. I am Nicole Newman of Newman Networks, President and CEO, and today is November 3rd, 2014. It is 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and I thank you for joining me at this presentation by WORC, which is the Women's Opportunity Resource Center and Newman Networks. Let me just make my screen a little bigger. So tonight's agenda is really, it's not just having a network, it's being able to work that network so that you stay top of mind and businesses and consumers are calling you as opposed to you chasing business. That is the point of having a network, but if we're not using it to get referrals and give referrals, then we're not being effective with the people we know and using it to make better businesses, more effective businesses, and cut down on marketing costs. So the agenda for this evening is we'll go through my bio, some of the testimonials about how I've been able to use my network. Then I don't want to make an assumption that everyone on the line has a network, so I'll show you how to build one. And to me, a network is more than 500 people. And we all, they say on average, everybody knows 250 people just growing up from middle school, high school, college, the stores that you go to, just in general, you have a network of 250 people. So by that definition, everybody has a network, but for businesses purposes, I'm looking at a number of 500. Now, how we build our network is we follow up. Most businesses lost just because people don't follow up. And if they do follow up, they only follow up one time. Well, it takes multiple times to convert somebody that we've met into a customer. The marketing pipeline is how we go through that conversion process, and then what checks we have to make sure that people are going through the process. Let's say if you know 100 people, 10 are going to become your customers. So where does that number go from 10 to 80? Where does that number go from 80 to 60? Where does that number go from 60 to 40? Where does that number go from 40 to 20? And where does it go from 20 to 10? So those are little checkpoints along this pipeline. The CRM systems measure how people are being followed up so that we're not doing all our follow-ups, but the system is working for you. Then I'll go to a slide that says just how to work a network. Never eat alone. We all have to eat, so make it a lunch date. and just because you go to lunch with somebody doesn't mean that they're going to be your customer, but they might know people who are going to be your customer. Do we host events? And more importantly, are we giving referrals? Giving referrals is the process of when we get referrals. Then I'll go through some next steps and some resources that will be helpful as everybody builds their own network. So who am I? My name is Nicole Newman. I'm a graduate of Temple University, class of 1995, graduate from the University of Maryland with my MBA from the Robert H. Smith School of Business. Yes, that was marketing too, class of 2000. I started Newman Networks in April of 2006, just before the recession. Then through my travels, I was an awardee for Outstanding Leadership. That was in 2014, in addition to an awardee for Creative Marketing, which I'll show you some of those creative marketing techniques. In 2011, I am an author of 4 books. 2 of them we use as a curriculum for Calling All Female Entrepreneurs, which I co-founded with Tara Colquitt. 2 books are for the curriculum, the Entrepreneur Success Guide and the Network Marketing Handbook. And 2 books are nonfiction, just my life story and how I grew myself to grow my business. And One is called Product of My Environment, and the other one is called Wisdom from M's, Lessons Learned from Moms, Mentors, and Mistakes. And I'm actually in the process of writing Product of My Environment Part 2 because this is November, and I found this nice little website called NaNoWriMo, and that's NaNoWriMo.org, that challenges us to write 50,000 words in 30 days. So in that growth and starting a business where I didn't know anybody, we used social media to effectively grow my network. And when I say effectively, yes, I could have went out and made 8,000 people and met them all in person, but LinkedIn actually brings me people now. Right now, I have about 3,500 people on my LinkedIn page, and leveraging LinkedIn, I was able to get a contract that has generated $250,000 in my business over the last 5 years. That was because social media asks people to post what's going on now. That's the difference between social media and a newspaper. A newspaper reports what happened. Social media reports what's going to happen. So a director of an entrepreneurship center said they were starting a new center and they had 3 days. So I immediately emailed him back and said, how can I help you? It wasn't that I was looking for opportunity. I just asked, how could I help? Because he sounded panicked. Key word is help people. Don't try to go for a sale. Help them. Nobody wants to be sold. They just want to know you have a product that can fulfill a need. So he was looking for a product, and I didn't know it was people that could fulfill a need. So he said, why don't you come down to my office? The thing about social media is you have to turn it into offline events. Never ask for the sale online. So how can we find a way to meet people to go for the sale outside of the online media? And it could be, meet me at an event, come see what we do, come to my store. So it doesn't have to be just business to business, it could be business to consumer. But the handshake deal is usually where the credibility is built, and I'm talking about the small businesses. We also leverage LinkedIn to remove the gatekeepers. LinkedIn is a paid software as a service CRM application. Let's put it like that. You can pay a fee of, it used to be $20 to $99. Now it's $60 to $200 a month to be able to send a person InMail. InMail is a great tool to remove the secretaries, administrative assistants, all the people who stop you from talking to the decision maker. So being a paying member of LinkedIn allowed us to leverage our relationship and write directly to a senior VP of a major bank. And he gave me his phone number and told me to give him a call. That's also moving from online to offline, and that was through a phone call. We utilize social media for credibility with a marketing partner outside of the U.S. We wanted to start a relationship with a company. I wasn't going to Canada, so they actually researched who I was and what I was doing using social media. And it just so happened that we've been building and building a network of endorsements on LinkedIn. All of this happened from my home office, saving me both time and money. So if I can do it, I want to teach you how to do it. So what is LinkedIn? LinkedIn is a business-to-business network. Right here, this is a graph of the endorsements. So we want to endorse people and show that we're doing a good job. And when we show that we're people doing a good job, other people endorse us that we don't even know because they hear from somebody. So if you treat every customer as your last customer and try to make them feel important by keeping up, following up, keeping them in your circle, that means that you can build credibility as somebody who is looking out and a partner. And that's what all these endorsements mean. It's not hard to do, but it takes a strategy, consistency, and a system. So I'm on LinkedIn 20 minutes a day, every day, just to see what's going on in the network. And in those 20 minutes, if I did a phone call, I could probably call 3 people in 20 minutes. But using LinkedIn, I can look at 50 people in 20 minutes. And that's just by reading the status updates. Because the next opportunity is on LinkedIn. And that is definitely a business-to-business network, so you should be trying to build up endorsements. And when I say trying to build up endorsements, that means asking people for endorsements. And don't be afraid to ask. So how do we build a network? We attend networking events. One piece of advice is I see people giving out business cards, but the only reason we give out business cards is to get business cards. So we're trying to get contact information. So don't ever just give out business cards. Start a 2-minute conversation. I open every conversation I try to have with a compliment. My objective is to get the other party to smile first. If they smile first, I can listen and find out, do they have a need that my company or anybody in my network can fill? So I'm asking questions, finding out what they're interested in, and then asking for a card. And the way I ask for a card is I give them one of mine and say, can I get your card? So it's an exchange. The whole point of the business card is to make an exchange. Cross-market with other businesses. Fran Tarkenton, respected businessman, told me, big business does business with big business. Small business should be doing business with small business. If you're a small business owner, all your friends need to be small business owners. And that way you can cross-market with their website, especially companies that have a neighborhood of stores. When we say cross-market, you could get a link on their website and they can get a link on your website. It's that easy. Technology makes it easy to cross-market with other businesses. They put their flyers in your store, you put their flyers in their store. And use social media to make conversations. Social media is a great way to keep your network connected. LinkedIn, 3500, Facebook, I write every day. I try to do it in the morning just so that people are, my network, I'm consistent. There is the business page, which is Newman Networks, and Facebook wants you actually to pay for advertising and boosting posts. If you boost your posts, they will give you more space and more things will happen. Facebook is not free. It's free to set up a personal page, but if you're a business owner, look at it as a marketing tool. Instagram, I got on Instagram because I had too many clients who have visual businesses showing pictures from my bakeries, from my hair salons, from the barbershops, from the restaurants. They're all on Instagram. Twitter I find is great tweets and lots of relationships. I don't know how they do it in 155 characters, but that's what I have an assistant for. So she does it in 155 characters. And YouTube is the second biggest search engine in the world. A YouTube channel is free. Videos are a great way to get the message out as long as it's tied into the website. And the website's design is to connect all the social media. So we build our network through multiple avenues, but the whole point is to get email addresses. We get email addresses so we can send out emails and stay top of mind through email marketing campaigns. And if you're not getting any referrals, that's because you're not giving any referrals. And that's what I don't see us doing enough of, but hopefully we'll change that. And we'll change that by giving and getting. You give to get. So what do we do with a business card? We went to the networking event, we got the business card, we asked for the email address on social media, and we immediately follow up. The tool that I use the most is LinkedIn to see who we know in common. When I sent that LinkedIn request, I want to reference somebody we know in common. Then Facebook, just to see who is interested, see what they're interested in. And then use Twitter to stay in the know. And I send an email just to make sure that the address is valid. So that's 4 connections. They need 6 usually to become a customer. So if I do 4 connections within a month, then within two to 3 months, I can tell if they're going to be a customer or a potential customer or a referral marketing partner. People can only fall in 3 categories: customer, potential customer, and referral marketing partner. Anybody we know is a referral marketing partner. This graph says 44% followed up 1 time. 12% is the actual follow-up rate. And 44 is missed follow-up opportunities. That shows you that we're missing a lot of opportunities just because we don't follow up, or we only follow up once. So I'm giving you 4 different ways to follow up so we can be better at our follow-up. Our next step after the follow-up, because it takes more than one, is go to a lunch. I like to use PowerMatch. That is a service on LinkedIn that allows me to meet 3 people in my network at one time. Nothing wrong with the phone. Business is still done over the phone. Invite them to a networking event or add them to the email marketing campaign. And that way, I have 8,000 people on my email list. It saves me time. There's no way I can call 8,000 people, so I use email marketing to stay top of mind. And out of that 8,000 people, only 20% open it up. So you want to make sure that your website is collecting email addresses. So if they want to spend the time to come to your website, make sure they don't leave until you have the piece of information you need to stay in touch. So what's the pipeline? For my clients, I ask them, what's their baseline number? How many people do they market to on a monthly basis? And we want to see that number grow. And we also want to know the closing ratio, meaning that if I've talked to 100 people that month, 10 became customers, my closing ratio is 10%. Checkpoints. Who's opening the newsletter? Who is looking at the social media? Who is coming out to networking events? Those are the checkpoints in the pipeline. But all of this is only important if we put it in the customer relationship management system. Then we can say what our ideal customer is, what are their buying habits, what do they look like, what do they like to do, and then we can duplicate it. The whole point of collecting this information is to duplicate. Once we know what our ideal customer looks like, we want to use social media and low-cost marketing to find more ideal customers. I have had the toughest time finding a CRM system that I like. I'm not saying it's easy because everyone is different and you're looking for different things. Right now, I'm sticking with a really simple system, but I've looked at Contactually, which gave me a tracker on how I was following up, but the statistics weren't right. I looked at Nimble, which told me what was going on my social media sites, but it wasn't telling me what was going on in my phone calls. And Salesforce, I think, is too price prohibitive for a small business. All of these pipeline activities are supposed to convert to sales, but they only convert to sales if we're asking for the close. Many people are afraid to ask for that close. You have to close them at some point, but we close them with multiple scenarios that lead to yes. When we say, for example, would you like the $250 plan or the $450 plan? We don't give them the option of saying no. So that's why we have 3 different price points. So each answer leads to a yes. So that's how we want to convert people to sales. What is a CRM? A CRM is the customer relationship management system. Some CRMs do the filter on the marketing, prospecting, and the web. I don't actually like that because I think that's too much for one system. But I would like a system that qualifies people. I would like a system that I can make specification changes, and that's design, engineer, and specify. Let's just say I want custom fields. I actually don't want a system that proposes a quote because I already have a system that can change an estimate to an invoice to a billing, and that's part of my accounting. The negotiations usually don't happen in the CRM, but I want to track who we talk to in the negotiation process. And I actually want to see how many people we closed to the closed order process. I do not need a system that does support, and I do not want my system to collect receivables. So to have a CRM that does all of these things would be great. And Salesforce does that, but I do not want that. So that's why I think CRM is such a broad field, and I've seen pricing strategies that are no cost to $200 to $300 a month. Right now, I'm at a budget of about $100 a month because I know how important a CRM is. What I'm looking for is keep it simple. I want a simple CRM system so that my assistant and I can go into it and we don't have to have somebody come and teach us. And that is why I moved away from QuickBooks. And that is why I'm a big fan of Google. I like all my systems to be simple. And when I say simple, that means that we don't need a degree, we don't need a manual, we don't need to figure out. It's intuitive. And the CRM is supposed to be tracking my 8,000 people and figuring out which ones are close to being closed. So I'm only on the phone with the ones who are ready to close because they read my newsletter over the last 5 months. And now I have a product that fulfills that need. So a CRM could be just a survey. It could be a Google form that says, how can we make your experience with our business better? It doesn't have to be complicated, but it's about getting the information to make the profile for the ideal customer and then duplicating that person or persons or family structure. CRM software helps you to store the data related to your customers. By adding the details of your customer in the CRM software, we can ensure better business and market new products to the clients, as you will have records of the customer's likes and dislikes, meaning it could be a survey. CRM software is considered ideal for all types of businesses, whether small or big. With the CRM software, we will have all the information related to the customer at our fingertips, and that is why I look for CRMs that are on the cloud. This includes the customer's contact details, details regarding his or her previous contacts with the companies, queries of your customer, that is surveys, questions, services available, or products purchased by the customer. I love places that call me. I love the place that says, it's about time for you to have another oil change. It's been 3,000 miles. If they can predict my need, that makes it easier for me. That means that I don't have to think about it. That means that I'm in an automated process. They know where I should be and what I should be doing. That's one less detail for me to worry about. So if the CRM can predict when that product or service is going to run out and re-up that order, that's great. Because now the CRM is helping you budget and collect receivables for your business. That is working the network, using the information to make more sales. That's an ideal CRM. So now that we've worked the network, we use the CRM to find out what our ideal customer is. Social media will say how we can duplicate it. Pinterest is 68% female, 32% male. The largest opportunities are fashion, wedding, recipes, decor, and babies. So if any of that is interested in your business, you want to be on Pinterest. Twitter is micro-blogging. It is over 560 million active users, but they're all on the phone. So Twitter is about following people and building that right relationship through the referrals. So you want to make sure we're retweeting and following people. Facebook, I just did a tool now where I can sell my books within Facebook using Shopify for $9 a month. Wow, that's huge. Over 1 billion active users. So if you have a product, you don't want to convert people to Facebook, convert people from Facebook to your website, bring the products and services from your website to Facebook. Instagram. Everybody that can take a picture of their product or service is on Instagram. And do you know just 4 years ago, Instagram wasn't around? Wasn't around. That's how fast social media changes. I'm not a big fan of Google+. Google is big brother to me, but if that's where you want to be, it is growing rapidly with 400 million users, and I know a lot of people use Google+ for recommendations and referrals. LinkedIn, that's my favorite tool of all time because it's business to business, and I'm looking for a business consumer. I'm looking for business owners. So if you're looking for business owners, you should be utilizing LinkedIn. So how do we work the network? I feel like I say this a lot, but social media is about making conversations, not about converting to sales, even though the business pages allow you to do that. But if you're on a business page, you can do that. You can advertise. But when it comes to actually using the social media platforms, you want to soft sell. You want to just say, this product fits the need. So you're looking for people, and that's why Twitter is important. You can do searches on keywords in Twitter. So if you're selling transmissions, you're looking for people talking about auto problems. So that way you can do a search on a problem and allow your product to fulfill their needs. Never even eat alone. Business is still done by handshakes. Host events. That's how we started our annual customer appreciation event. We wanted to give people referrals. And that's it. Next step is give referrals. Referrals build loyalty and trust, and those become your marketing partners. If we're not giving out referrals, that means we're not getting referrals. Use phone calls to listen to customers' needs, and the way you can market that is just call it a survey. So a survey, a phone call is just, it's not about selling, but listening. Email marketing. Email marketing helps people stay top of mind. Email marketing still has the highest ROI for the cost. For my 8,000 emails, it costs about $80 a month. $80 every time we send out an email, and that's twice a month, so it's $160 a month. I can't get any better than that. Because out of that 8,000, 1,600 open. So I've just lost 80%. And then out of that 1,600, another only 20% will do something. That is 320 people. Out of those 320 people, 20% will go to a sale. So 20% of 320 is 64. But one email filtered my pipeline from 8,000 to 64. So I didn't have the time to call 8,000 people to find out which 64 were interested in my product. So that's why email marketing has the highest ROI if it's being used correctly. Email marketing doesn't say go and buy this product. Email marketing says, do you have this problem? Our product can fit your need, and this is a testimonial from how we help somebody else. So if we're not putting testimonials in the email marketing campaigns, it's not as effective. So you want to make sure within that email marketing campaign, it's showing good results that we've already done for other customers. And don't be afraid to close. Some people don't want to spend money unless they're asked to do it. So we have to say, what's the 2 yes decisions? So there are no decisions, there are yes decisions. And then that is making the relationship, building the relationship. So once you have built a relationship based on trust and do a good job, you can sell other products, and that is called upselling. So we want to do leads, use social media to get our leads. Then we want to actually do face-to-face meetings. Then we want to close, and then we want to upsell more products. That's the marketing system to help us work our network. So that was it for tonight's presentation, just a short summary on how we work our network using social media. The next step from WORC is the WORC Entrepreneurship Training Special, where they teach you how to start and operate a business and develop a winning business plan. That is to help with the financing section of your business. WORC will help you write the plan, and then they also offer small business loans from $1,000 to $35,000 if you have the right credit score and a business plan. So you can call at any time to request an orientation, and the Small Business Loan Program is available online. The next step from Newman Networks, we have a lot of events coming up. You can check out our network on www.newman-network.com, and you can also find us on Facebook under Calling All Female Entrepreneurs, and that is the Philly Cafe group or the phillycafe.org website. The next workshop goes into detail about the things I just said for business-to-business consumers is LinkedIn 102. I have a business profile, now what? That is happening on Thursday, November 6th at 6 p.m. You can RSVP at http://NOV-LinkedIn102.eventbrite.com. I'm also having a book signing for Sit, Sip, and Savor, and we'll talk about effective communications. And that is a free event. It is http://sitsitsavor.eventbrite.com. These are some of the resources to actually help you build your network in using LinkedIn and using social media and using LinkedIn as a lead generation tool, which also helps you build your network. And one of the tidbits I'm just going to pass out real quick about LinkedIn is have a professional picture. Keep it professional and build it so that you're having endorsements. Endorsements are what sells you on LinkedIn and what makes people attracted to you. I write for Examiner, and actually I have to do an Examiner article tonight. So the first article, and actually it's a slideshow under LinkedIn 102. I have a profile, now what? But there's also an article that goes along with that, and that is under the technology tidbit, LinkedIn 102, go wide and deep. And that is through your endorsements and people knowing people. You can find this slide and other slide shares on www.slideshare.net/Nicole Newman. The two that are really interesting are social media for business and lead generation using LinkedIn.com. You can also find me on About Me under Nicole Newman. I hope this information that was shared tonight was helpful for your business, and now you can put it to good use. And please connect with me on Nicole Newman under LinkedIn, and I hope to see you and meet you face to face. Thank you for your time. Bye-bye.